Hey everybody, this is Dustin, your RV specialist. So I just wanted to pop in the shop real quick. We've got two Grand Designs, both in here getting roofs replaced. This one, they're still in the reassemble process of it on the Solitude, and I'll catch you that year and that model number here in just a second. This is one that they're actually starting to take apart. This is on a 303 RLS. I'm not sure why we're replacing the roofs. I would imagine that they struck them or had some tree damage or possibly wind damage or whatever, but I just want to let you know that we do a lot of roof replacement, and I know there's a lot of different controversy about different coatings and whatnot. We do all the coatings as well. We do roof reseals. There's different issues that have been going on in our industry, and some of it's been from like chemical laws and state by state changes and different solvents and different cleaners and different sealants and different glues and different membranes. We want to just let you know that we've had an amazing success with using all the Dicor products. So Dicor, to our knowledge, hasn't changed anything as far as on their membranes. They haven't changed anything on their products. That's probably one of the most number one brands out there that's reputable. They've been around for longer than I've been in this industry. And they do a bunch of stuff other than just like roof membranes and sealants as well. So check out their site. You can see more details on them. But going back to these two units, so here's a Grand Design Reflection. It's a 303 RLS. And here's a Solitude, and I'll catch the information on both of these. Let's go see what this Reflection is. A 8 of 2021, so I'm assuming it's probably a 2022. And you can see where the guys are just now starting to take off the side moldings. And so they're gonna get ready to unskin this guy here pretty quick. This Solitude here, let's go check it out and see what year this one is. And of course, I'm in one of our buildings. We got technically three. This one is also an 8 of 2021. So that's kind of funny. They're both made the same month, the same year. So anyways, this one, you can see the new material. He hasn't finished trimming it at the very top, but all the side rails are back installed on it. And so I'm not sure if he's got up there and started selling anything or not yet. But because I also see like a vent down here, maybe it's one that's getting upgraded. But as you can see, all the stuff that's still up top there, so I don't know which unit that's from, but we take off all the air conditioners, vents, skylights, and all that kind of stuff, solar panels, and that way we don't have to carry them down, taking a risk of damaging them. We do bring them down when we need to, is to clean them up, and the guys usually will clean them up top, and then our prep area. So back here in the back part of this building, the guys will generally bring all their moldings, and as you've seen in other videos that we've done, I don't know if there's any back here. Oh yeah, there actually is some. So you'll see that they'll take off all the moldings. They'll bring them back here on these benches, and then they'll do all the cleanup to them and scrape off all the putty if there is any. So as you can tell on these moldings, this is gonna be the moldings that was on that Reflection. And Dave, oops, I'm almost knocking it off the table here. Dave's got them marked with tape and knows where they're right at. So we've done a lot of videos on these moldings, and as you can see, there's nothing on the back side. So there was only the top sealant on the top edge preventing water from getting back there. And then you can see where all the screws are that are pre-drilled every 6 inches. So if you are working on your unit and you see that these moldings are loose and you need to clean and reseal this top edge, which is basically, on the side of the roof to prevent water from going back behind it, you can add additional screws in between the 6 inch area, which would be 3 inches, if you need to. You can also, if the screw is stripped, you can take it out and move it over. And actually, here's where the manufacturer missed the screw hole and then added one in a different spot for some reason. And then same thing here. They probably started to put one in there and then went back to the original hole. But, you can add those screws as many as you need, and additional. Sometimes with there's certain things, certain rails on the sidewalls and whatnot, like if this one had toppers on it, whether we use screws or sometimes we'll use trifold rivets and put those in place too. I believe this one might have also been featured here recently. I know that we just did a Roadmaster suspension upgrade to it as well. So you can see the red box underneath there. And so again, if you haven't caught that video, I'd encourage you to check it out. A real quick recap on that, I know I'm jumping around all over the place, is those Roadmasters reduce depending on the road conditions, about 50 to 70% of all the G-forces, shaking, vibration, and they also protect the tires. So they say that no matter what brand of tires you have, that they're going to at least get at least a 25% more life, because now they're more in a true alignment. When we put that system in, you're technically going, depending on what equalizer you have, you're going from like 14 to 16 moving parts, and now you're basically down to 4, so basically 4 bolts at the end. The springs are lifetime guaranteed. There's actually shocks that's underneath there on the back side, and so those are also lifetime guaranteed as well. We recently had another unit in here that we had a early version that was probably 10 years old that we hadn't seen. It was the same kind of pumpkin, same springs, but they had a different pieces in the inside of that box, and they were wearing, because the owner been traveling with it for 10 years and goes all kinds of long distance trips. We actually called Roadmaster and said, hey, we haven't even seen one like this before. What do we do? And so they actually sent us an upgraded kit to replace the pieces that were worn in it, again at no charge. So great support from that company. That's one of the reasons why we stress those so hard. When those are put in, like there's a consumer getting ready to come back pretty soon here that had a refrigerator that, because of the shaking of the slide out, it broke the floor loose from that, as well as it had some frame issues where the framing of the wall wasn't welded correctly. So it broke it loose. We repaired that, but we had to take the refrigerator out to lift the floor up to repair it. And then we told her, hey, you might want to invest in one of these because of all the shaking and jarring. And so I think she either went in and set something up where she could see how much it was moving and flexing, and then called back and said, wow, let's go ahead and do it. So that'll be in here pretty soon, I think somewhere in October. And we're kind of around the middle of September right now. Another thing that's been big with everybody is we've been taking off either the stock pin boxes, or say like the MoRide pin boxes, or the Flex Air pin boxes. And this is a stock pin box over here on this reflection. So this is just a solid piece of metal. There's no dampening system whatsoever. There's no up and down, side to side, up and down, any of that. Where this one has a back and forth and a little bit of a cushion, where that one has a front nose cushion on it with the airbag and the shock. But we've been getting a lot of people wanting to get away from having their standard fifth wheel hitch in the back of the bed of the truck. So they have, most trucks nowadays come with a puck system. So we're actually adding Gen Y hitches to them. So they're taking off the old pin boxes, putting on Gen Y hitches. We've been doing that pretty regularly. Those are lifetime warranted as well. And so if you haven't seen those or that video, check that out when you get a chance, or if we haven't released it or not yet. But so anyways, well, stay tuned for more. Thanks so much for watching. Again, this is Dustin, your specialist. Keep an eye on your Grand Design roofs. I don't know, again, if these were from tree damage, leaks, something along those lines. They hit something. Like the last 2 that we did back to back was actually a Solitude and a Reflection. Both of them were in a windstorm that we're driving, and they both had to fight their insurance companies. One of them did go ahead and cover it, which they should have. The other one's in the process of getting it covered, but different units. But those ones are already fixed, repaired, and gone and out of here. So, all right. Well, hey, thanks again so much for watching, and stay tuned for more. This is Dustin, your RV Specialist.